And hello. New username and picture. New account. Question mark. Betty. Moose. It's watching on several accounts. It's trying to have another crack at the free 1 month membership. It is indeed Wednesday, all day. AC, hello. Man. Is Twitch twitching? Like, not a single person on Twitch has chimed in yet. Oh, Matthias, hello. Okay, fine. Twitch is working. Julian, hello. No, it's fine. It's normally between Matthias, Queco, and Daz who gets there first on Twitch. But it's fine. Gregory, hello. It is Wednesday, and I don't know what time zone it is for everyone, so I think Sundays tend to have slightly higher numbers, which would make sense than a Wednesday, but put that back. Any day is good as another to stream. Indeed. Well, hopefully I can help. Maybe I can inspire you to add ranges. Yes, I appreciate that, and there's quite a large US audience, but I don't know what other... I'm not going to wait up any later to stream, and I obviously cannot stream during the day, so it is what it is. BBNDIS 586874. I'm glad you're here. See what it's like. The videos are slightly different. These streams tend to be, I think for a lot of people, streams tend to be a little more relaxed than sort of highly produced videos. Also, the topic is slightly different. This is definitely more forward engineering than reverse engineering, but we tend to have a lot of fun. Well, great questions from SciTechnic. How is the final application going to be packaged for deployment? TBC, I have absolutely no idea. Probably a zip file with all the gubbins in it. If I can be bothered, I might pack it all into Windows resources and have it as a self-contained binary, or do the Love2D trick where you just sort of whack it in a zip file and attach it to the end of the PE file. Undecided. Where did I learn what? Are you talking to me? Right, okay, so let's begin. So last stream left on a bit of a downer, I will admit. No cracking today. We're all about forward engineering than reverse engineering. There is a new video soon. I'll talk more about it as a way of convincing you to stay to the end of the stream. There is a new video coming out soon, which might be more up your alley. Left last stream on a bit of a downer because something couldn't generate tangents and bitangents. I asked the Oracle, and being an LLM and predictive, it was like, these look like the numbers that should come next, based purely on sort of its understanding of human language, not of any sort of concept of maths. The problem with the lightsaber, I would have it on more, right? But I don't know if you can hear it, but it has like it has a constant ambient noise, which is cool but annoying. So I have quite a lot of audio filters on, so I don't know if it picks it up. But it's very annoying for me. Anyway, so interesting. Okay, fine. Well, I'm not gonna have it on because it's quite annoying for myself. I wish you could turn it off. Like, I wish it'd be cool. Just what I really want is it to be mains powered and have no sound, and I could just have it, then I could hook it into my Home Assistant, and then I could have it come on with all the office lights. But yeah, I have recently extended my office Home Assistant. My office is basically a state machine, so it's either in like normal mode or stream mode or like night mode. And now when I'm in stream mode, it automatically cuts the power to Alexa, which is nice. And now I can say Alexa or something that sounds like Alexa, and it won't come on because it's literally it literally just cuts the power on the smart switch. Anyway, so it turns out AI not great at generating a semantically meaningful series of numbers which are linked to other numbers you've given it. Turns out what AI is great at is shitting out all the code that generates the tangents and bitangents for you. Obviously, I kind of reviewed it a little bit and tied it up so it was more my style of C++. I'm not really going through too much for it because it's basically maths. This is the kind of thing I think AI is great for. This is like a well-known mathematical formula. I could find it in a research paper. It just saved me having to go and type it up. Like I don't care too much, and I don't really feel like it takes away from the game, from the development experience. And bear in mind, this is like calculated once right at the beginning. It doesn't matter how fast it is, how slow it is, how ugly it is, as long as it works. So speaking of works, Quacko, hello. We should now have. Let's get ourselves in position. Reasonably accurate lighting. So if the light should now go up, and the shadows should be underneath, and you go down, and the shadows should be above. So I think that's reasonably accurate, and I think if you tilt this, it still works. It's kind of hard to line myself up to see. But I believe that obviously it does weird things when the light clips in, but I believe the light does pull correctly underneath. You can see like here, the shadows are there, but if you bring this down, that shadow then moves underneath. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to take it apart because I built it at Mouseland with one of my kids, and it was a good experience, and I'm kind of keen just to leave it preserved. Most things I'm kind of happy to take apart, that I'm kind of happy to leave. Okay, so I think that's right. So the next thing we need to do is, I do want to try and get all this out into a file at some point because it is starting to annoy me now, but what I want to do is add the plan for today, add the Specular component wired up with ImGUI so we can change the various fields. Add a Specular map. Move all the shader code out. Have the ability to render a debug shape over the light so we can click on the light without having to sort of select it from the GUI and move it around. I don't know if this GCC supports embed. Interesting. I'll have a look. Move that out. Have a light object that we can click and move around. We need to create a texture manager and create our massive global list of bindless textures and then index into them. And then I want to have a button that creates objects and then maybe like a material editor so we can change the material. So there's quite a lot of stuff I want to kind of get done. We're going to see what we can get through because basically all this is leading up to writing the deferred renderer, which I think will be the next big part of this project. And then we can do model loading, and then we can have a gun and a level. We can walk around. We can pew pew pew. It's all kind of going fine. Okay, fine. So we've got the diffuse component. So then I need access to the. I need the eye. Where does the eye come from? That's the view angle from the camera. From the camera. Is that the look direction? because specular light is specular reflection is based on viewer angle, like it will change as you move around. So I'm just looking at the code I wrote from the last project, and I have an eye component. Where the bloody neck does that come from? I should have looked this up before. Camera. Right, camera data to UBO. Where does that live? View projection position. Is it just the position in what is I the camera position? It is. Okay, fine. So that's easy enough to add. Camera here, so we should be able to do vec3 I. I'm going to put it position because I think I is misleading, and then we're going to have to add it up to the. Don't forget to add it in the other one, otherwise it will not link and it will not tell you why. Camera. So camera now needs to have a vector 3 position. So then I think I want to not have the position here, right? Because there's no point duplicating it. I can just pull it out. The camera data is the subset of all the camera data that needs to be copied to the GPU. So that's just a quick refactor in and out, 20 minutes. Position doesn't go there because then dot position equals position. I feel like that line should be broken up a little bit, but hey ho. And now I need to do data dot. Actually, hang on. Can I do position that and then do c data dot position and then just find all the others? So that goes there. That will go there. Nope, that will not go there. That will go there. That will go there. Look at. So let's just make sure it fills it into that struct, and then that goes, and then what was it? 0 dot position equals 0.0 f. No, ooh, steady, stay on target. 1.0 f. And then because it's the advantage of like having an interface and abstraction, like that just changes the implementation detail, but everyone who consumes camera will be none the wiser and shouldn't need a change. Camera data gets splitted up. I missed a constructor, did I? I've only got 2 constructors. Unless is there one in the header file? No, there's only 2 constructors. I think I got them. Right, and then what was I doing? Renderer. Oh, I'm stuck. Okay, so now I got that. I should be able to do something like, oh, position's going to be gross. I really should have listened to Harand and put all these in a struct and then had camera data in here. I regret doing that because position seems like it's going to be an awfully overloaded term. Hate it. We'll fix later. So vec3 so you need to get the reflection direction between your no, between the light. Yes. So reflect the reflection between the light and the incoming light, right? Which you negate to make it outgoing. You need to reflect the light direction across the normal, right? But you need to invert it, so because the lights will be coming into the surface, but you want it to be going out, so when you reflect it across the normal, you get the outbound reflection array. I think that's right. And float the specular amount will be pow max dot all the keywords normalize camera position minus frag position and then reflect the max at 0.0 and then raise it to the power of, I'm gonna put 32, but that needs to be in here. Float is the specular power a property of the light? It is, isn't it? I think it is, right? So should we have to point light specular power typo in position in the first param. Typo in position in the first param. Oh yeah, the Poiston position. Okay. Drink good water and co-editing, it's good falling. That, I'm afraid none of that made any sense to me, and I do apologize. Slap that in there. Okay, fine. So now, so now we can go point light and have float specular power. Ah, cool. Yes, that does make sense. Okay, so now we can put the specular power in there. So now we go over to main. Now we can put in 32 into the scene light. Dot specular power equals 32.0f. Okay, and then we can go to the debug UI, and then in the lights we can have okay. I think we can just do GUI slider float power. I think we just give the address then of the scene dot lights dot light dot specular power, and then the range will be like 0.0f to, I don't know, like 100.0f. Let's give it a whirl, shall we? See if that blends. Nope. Fragment shader 72. It'll also be easier when I have this in a file and the line numbers make sense, because at the moment I have to go here, then I have to like 72 down. I want my specular to be a power of 2, as in an integer. Missing something after. Ah, thank you. Yes. C plus 20, 26 if we can get away with it, but yeah, definitely at least 23. Okay, well, I can go between 0 and 100, so we'll see what happens. How long do I stream? I stream for about 2 hours-ish at a time. Failed to link program. Okay. What have I missed? I've probably missed updating one of these. So I got the float, Specular power there, the camera. Oh, did I miss this? Does it really care that it's a different name? Is it really that picky? Sorry, I'm failing to keyboard today. Here we go, 53. It might just not like the term position. That might conflict with something else. Okay. Ooh, that started and crashed. Ooh, interesting. That is an OpenGL error. Does not meet minimum alignment requirements. What we could no, what I'm thinking of doing actually, what is it? Can we do and just shove it all in there? Would that get us? I don't understand why that's unaligned though. Unless it wants some padding. Wires does not make me no shader. Oh, wait, let's have a look actually. That's 265. So what's... Oh, camera. Okay, it's for the camera. Oh, it's strange because it rendered one frame, right? But it's crashing on line 265, and that is definitely when it's uploading the camera data. Now everything should just be off the size of camera data. I don't have. I wonder. I bet I know exactly why this is. It's exactly the same issue with this. So the reason you have to have floats here is because vec for stood 430, which gives the layout details to OpenGL. It tells it how to lay this data out. With 430, a vec 3 is padded to a vec 4, but 3 floats are not. So what I'm missing here is this should be float 3, because what it's done is it's padded that to one more, and I expect then I'm writing an incorrect amount of data. Press the button. Thank you. Okay, so let's go down to fragment town, and then what we can do is we can do vec3 camera pods equals vec3 camera position naught. Jesus. Have I got caps lock on? Is this why? Yeah, okay, fine. That was painful. Right, okay. Then we just do camera pods. It's nothing to do with nulling out the last byte. It's to do with how much data it's expecting. Like, it will be junk data, but the alignment really needs to match between the CPU and the GPU. Otherwise, weird things happen. Now I'm failing to link the program again, which suggests I've typoed something else. Is it terrifying? Oh, heard a rummaging at my door. Postman's out late. Why is this not doing what I want it to do? Clark, glad you're enjoying the videos. There's a new video coming out soon, and I'm hoping you'll enjoy it. Right, why am I being stupid? 3 components, 3 components, 3 components. Oh, have I got? Did I say there's a typo somewhere? Propertier. 68. Oh, thank you. My sort of ill-fated attempt to smash those smash that data together. Failed to link sample program. Curiouser and curiouser. I'm pretty sure I can just slap an extra float on the end there. Can I view this diff? Oh, it's not properties anymore, is it? It's still attenuation. Maori, hello. Perfect. Oh god, I got 1 frame and then it died. Does not mean why is this not? Why is this? It's not even copying it. It's merely binding it. Why is binding this? It's 430, right? So it should. The whole point of stood 430 is it's like a known alignment, right? It should align it for me. I mean, I could add some padding, but I feel like I've never could add some padding. I'd be a bit annoyed if this does work. Camera. So I'm rendering 1 frame and then I'm okay. Fine. It was a padding issue. That's lame. And then I don't think I'm actually doing anything with the Specular amount. Then I have to do diff. You accumulate the diffuse and the specular, and then modify that by the attenuation and then the light color. Methinks. Oh, that does look shiny. Is that right? Is that... I'm not convinced that's right. Should that be going up and down with me? Is that... Like, it does look shiny. I can change, bang, I can change, yeah, using the power, I can basically change the how bright that spot is. Maybe it does. Maybe it is right. Yeah, it's stylistic. I think that might be right. Actually, just look at it from a distance. Oh, without any mip mapping. Oof. Oh yeah, sorry. This thing is imgizmo. It's a plugin for imgui. I think that looks pretty. Is that right? In there? Is that just an artifact? I feel like it's got this weird shadow. Like. But yeah, but is that so? What was if I assume that's a function of this? If I change the light color, yeah, that changes with it. Okay, fine. And if I change the power, oh, hang on, turn the light off. I feel like that's changing, but if I make it almost nothing, I feel like the other bit is the diffuse. Let me just. I take that as a compliment. Tokyo does occasionally drop into these streams, so is that right? I'm just going for Fong at the moment. Is that right? It does seem more right than before. Once I make it a little bit closer, yeah. So it's definitely got a. I almost feel like that's stretched though, like that way. Or am I just going mad? Do you know what I mean? Which attenuation do I want to change? Could bring that in a little bit, maybe. Yeah, this is cool. Is that right? Should that? Let me add the add that back. It's one of the things where now, like, if I don't get it right now, it's gonna be much harder to get it right when there's more stuff going on. I could open up the old project and have a look. I don't know, that does seem kind of right now though. But if you do that, right, if you blow it absolutely out, you do get this weird, that's not right. Like if you make the power absolutely bloody tiny, that's wrong, right? Do we agree? Do we get that on the front? Yeah. Now the question is this an error due to the input of the just the specular component, or is the diffuse subtly broken as well? We just can't discern it. The problem is that like it kind of looks all right as long as you don't have a tiny power. As soon as you have something like that, like it kind of looks okay, but it's still not right. If I really want, it's not the problem I want to be solving today, but like that is, it's got to be to do with the normals, right? And the bitangents. Yeah, we could add a what do I? That's a good point, actually. So let's actually, yeah, I just want to see something. I think Queco has inspired me. If we make this like bloody massive, and then we change the light to this. It does look like a... No, it's not. I was wondering if it was like a circle, just like... I don't think that helps me. What I thought is it just like randomly displaced? So would you still get that correct like circle of light just offset? But like this, unless it's absolutely massive, I can't seem to find the other end of it. No, I think it's fucked. So we could add a different color for each of for the diffuse and the specular. It's a little bit of work, but it might help us figure out which if both are wrong. Otherwise, I've got no real control over diffuse. Let me just double check my maths. So we take the reflection of that, and then we do the power, the max, the dot, the normalize of the fragment position across the reflect area. 0.9. And the normal is definitely the in TBN times n after we shift it. And that comes from the texture map. Frag position is a it's vec4, but I just get the XYZ component here because frag position comes from here, right? Which is it's the interpolated vertex ID in model space and camera space, world space. Get there in the end. For the diff calc, yeah, it's just because it just takes it as a vec3, right? So I pass it into this function and I just pull out the XYZ. Curiouser and curiouser. I've definitely got 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, tangent, normal, tangent, tangent, by tangent, by tangent, by tangent. The index is the vertex ID. The problem is that the light doesn't look right, okay? It's a point light, so it should emanate out like uniformly from a single infinitely small point in 3D space, which means if you had an infinite plane and you put the light in front of it, it should create effectively a circle of light, right? Which gets smaller or dimmer, bigger and dimmer the further out you go. But what I'm seeing is like a crescent shape. Yeah, diff to U game is the text chord inclusion in the spec calculator. Where's that? Apparently some people on YouTube are having issues with audio. Is that true? Can anyone else confirm? Okay. Then unfortunately it's unlikely, it's probably your end. Oh, no, so yes, the texture bit at the end, that's for the specular map. That's what I'm trying to get to, because I want the specular map to be in there, so only certain parts are shiny. So that's got nothing to do with the calculation. That's just filtering out what is shiny or not. Oh, mate, Moose, if I knew that, I'd solve it. Or is this or is this correct because it's the view angle? Am I being stupid? Is this actually correct? If I look down the barrel of it, right? Am I just? I think I might just being stupid. Oh no, it's okay. No. Wait, is that? The reason I write them in strings is because I've not been bothered to move them into a file yet. I'll do that soon. I think this might be right. I think I might just be being dim. Okay, let's add the specular map then, because I think that might lift this whole thing up. So it means I have to create one more crime against good code. And then here I can then do times texture specular text. I will move this to a file soon. Don't worry. Don't you worry. In UV. In UV. Dar. Okay, so I'll take the red component of the specular map. Okay, and then we'll go over to entity. Go over to entity. Nope. We'll go to scene, and we'll have specular tree assets. What's it called? It's diamond floor specular. Okay. So normal. Oh, CFL specular. Is that the name? So that should be diamond floor. Just giving all these entities the wrong name. You've unknowingly is it what's the principle where whatever API you expose, whether you intend it or not, someone will eventually Hiram's law. Eventually, everyone will come to rely on your API, whether you expect them to or not. I would indeed quote the Bard on that. So there's no real light casting. It's not a ray tracer, if that's what you mean. It's just a rasterizer. Okay, so it's just a little bit of maths, but we can go back and have a look at it again. The one. Renderer. Down. Get rid of this, whatever this horrible function is soon. 1R2. I bet I've bindless. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, let's see. That might just make things look a little bit better. Or it won't work. Who's to say? Unsupported channel count 1 on what? Oh no. That's annoying. It's the specular map is itself a single channel image. I remember doing this last time. I was like, oh, it won't take long to do this. Then I had to go and refactor all my texture coded again. Just never learn. Is it just R? Oh, is it R? Or is it red? It's probably R for one and red for the other because their naming is inconsistent. Oh, did nail like that. Unsupported channel count 1 in. Oh, hang on. It's actually going to be in utils. I'm pretty sure I had. Ugh. At least my error handling works. Also, this should definitely have using enum UFPS text format. Yeah. Tie that up. A little drive-by improvement. Texture type and format combination is not valid in texture 40. I really hate computers. So it doesn't like my 2 OpenGL texture format false. I bet it's red. Does this mean this is then red 8? No, of course. It's R8 if you want the size. It's red if you just want the name. Nope, still wrong. Error, undefined variable specular text and in UV. Okay. Oh, interesting. Does this have to be declared a priori. Great. Okay, right. Now that looks a little bit. I think that's doing what I want it to do. Is it sort of more so shiny on the raised bits and duller underneath? Is that? Do we think? I feel like I actually go and check what the texture is. Yeah, okay, I think that's what I want because it shouldn't be because it's metal. It shouldn't be perfectly. Steady. Don't know what's in that. Projects, assets, textures, diamond. Yeah, okay, fine. So it should just be not shiny, just a little bit around each of these, but the in between should be shiny. We could try one of the other ones I've got. Let's go with copper. That is too bright. I feel that is. I think the point is because because I haven't got HDR on and it's quite a light colored texture. I think that's shiny in between the vertebrae. It's going to ignore that weird extra artifact. I'm not entirely convinced this is right, but that's definitely shiny in between, right? I've got one more to test with. I don't know if it's any good. With rusty metal. Again, when we get like HDR in there, it might look a little bit better. Okay, fine. Again, it's quite light. But I think that's... nope. Like, I don't think the rust is... Yeah, it's definitely working now because the rust... This would all be blinding white, but it's not applying it to the rusty part. That is a tasty texture. Okay, fine. Let's comment this up with what we've got. Yeah, I need to add... I just don't have a sphere at the moment. I don't think I have a sphere. I've got no model loading. So unless you can rote memory the model space positions and normals and UVs for a sphere, I could ask the Oracle. Yeah, I mean, people come and go, right? People dip in and out. I still think this is still, I'm still getting consistently higher numbers than I was from the previous project. So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, let's make some commits. Oh, Jesus. Okay, fine. Let's add red channel to texture because we're going to need that for SSAO anyway. Add position to camera data. So we're going to do all this is basically add specular lighting, could integrate changes. Okay, we're about an hour in, and that was the absolute bare minimum I wanted to get done, so it's not too bad. What's your situation like to offer you pros and cons? I need to know more of what you want to doing. I would say for a large scale project, CMake is definitely better than a bunch of hand rolled make files, but I use make to drive my CMake, so yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the turnout. Not to be sniffed at. Okay, let's no, can't be slacking for the last hour. This is a hobby, but let's not be slacking. What do I want to do? I listed a whole load of things I wanted to do at the beginning. We need to get rid of this absolute like travesty. Yeah, let's pull the shaders out into their own files. That feels like a quick win. Do I have hash embed? That is the. Okay, fine. Let's do this. Let's go renderer. Let's do e source. No, assets shaders. Simple dot vert. Okay. Sure. And then we'll take, what's that? Let's just put a mark here. And then I should be able to percent up to here, then D to the mark. Put that in there. Oh, that. Now. Can I just be like assets, shaders, simple dot vert. Oh, it's C. Oh, because it's not embedded. It's not standardized in C++23 yet, is it? I am using GCC 15.2. I have to just enable this flag, which I guess is not the end of the world. CMake source. What did it say I needed? I needed WC23 extensions. Getting the right path is going to be an absolute pain. I recognize C++23 extensions. Did I mean? Well, I thought it was. I mean, I guess. Just doing what you told me to do. I suppose that is Clang D, so Clang D might not like it. There's no way that worked. No such. Am I not in C++26 mode? Oh, interesting. Can I just do that? And just get it for freeze? What does it embed it as? Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look, because this could be quite cool. C++ embed resource inclusion. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. Hash embed, child sequence, blah, 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 such as a sequence of places for us to do. And this is definitely since C++26. Okay. What if I want it as a string, though? Ah, do I do this? Interesting. Yeah, oh, I figured that the pathing is wrong, because I'm going to have to figure out how that works in terms of the build system. What I want to do is first just work out. So I think I want const expra char sample vertex shader equals that. So once if I can get it to compile, so what I'm trying to work out is the pathing. No compilers are fully C++26 compliant yet, because it's only just been sort of ratified by the committee. I don't think it's even been sent to ISO yet to be fully anointed. But the compiler devs will be slowly implementing features as they go along. GC is getting pretty close to reflection. Does it say? Unless otherwise modified, the embed directive is replaced by a comma-delimited list of integral literals of type int. The integral literals in the comma embedding resources, embedded parameters. An embed parameter of the form limit can only appear most once in each embed directive. The constant expression must be an integral constant expression whose value is greater than or equal to 0. If the value of the constant expression is greater than implementation resource count, the resource count is still the... Bleh. I think it's just saying how much you could pull in, right? Here you go. This is what I want. An embed parameter of the form suffix balance pp tokens optional can only appear at most once in each other. If the resource is empty, then otherwise it's replaced immediately after. Yeah, it's fine. What I want to know is, like, how does it know where it is? I bet it uses the same... See, I would expect it to use the same search path as the preprocessor. Just balance tokens. Like, you know, you got to get your 5 tokens a day and have a balanced token ingest. I'm going to assume then that it takes it from the compiler include. So what I think that means I need to do is do... Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do add... No, we're not. We're going to do target include directories. It already has the project source there in there, which is a little bit annoying, because what I thought we could do is we could do... project source dir assets. If we add that to the include paths, right, then surely I can just do shader slash simplevert. Is that what I called it? Shaders assets shaders simplevert. Oh, is it a compiler flag? That's so annoying, but it's not the end of the world. So we can do compiler. So what are we going to do? Dash dash embed. Actually, that's not too bad, that. So we can do equals project source dir assets. Oh, fuck. There? Oh, you think it might just literally be copy and paste that string in? It just says like the it just says searches. Like it doesn't say where. It literally the official. Well, it's not the official documentation. Sorry, CPP ref. I suppose I could go through the standard. Gives you absolutely no indication as to where it's going to search. Has this got to be like a string or something stupid? I do hate CMake. I know I told someone to use CMake, but I do hate it. I just tell me what. Like it's there, mate. GCC 15 embed not working. Help, please. How to implement embedding resources from 15 years ago. I don't think that's going to be it. Do I definitely need quotes there? Do I? This as well. Like, what is this word soup? So look, there's a difference here. You got embed hchar sequence and qchar sequence, followed by pp tokens new line. Searches for a resource identified uniquely by the hchar sequence and replaces the directive. Searches for by qchar, a sequence or more hchars, a sequence of more qchars. See include. Is there some? See, this links to hash include, which suggests that's where it's getting it from. So we think no here. So let's just try that. I suspect hchar sequence and qchar sequence is some deep C++ knowledge that I do not currently obtain. What's interesting is it's now. Why is that not appearing in the? Something weird's going on here because now I don't seem to have any of my flags in here. But I don't have any, like, I'd expect all these to appear in here. Does that need to be public? I really hope no, because it's compiling the library, which should embed it at the point where it compiles the library. The library should come with the embed in it, right? That's literally the point. How is that? That's worrying. Why has it changed my? Why has it broken my tests? Oh, because I don't actually want all those errors. Those are specifically to the library. I don't know how much time I want to spend on this, because I feel like this could be a cool C++26 feature to use and play around with, which is part of the point of this stream. On the other hand, like, I don't want to spend an hour fighting this if it's not intuitive to use. Sorry, we're thinking we want to do... I don't think it's going to make any difference, but I'm more than happy to try. Oh, okay. Maybe I need the H char rather than the Q char. A little bit worrying that this is cached. This might need to blow the build directory and start away. But oh, it's because I left space there. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. I can't remember what the runes are. There you go. Hate that. Okay, so I think it's just now complaining about my tests. Oh no, here you go. No, what's this? What's this? This is a new error message. I like this. No include path in which to search for. Interesting. Someone had this issue 15 years ago, and that came from GCC saying it couldn't find stdio. So it is looking like it's finding that, which this... won't necessarily... I'm not being stupid, am I? It's definitely shaders. It's definitely assets, shaders, simple.vert. Could well be... No, it still doesn't like it. What about that? I just noticed something really interesting there, right? This here, file not found, right, with clang D. Now it's found it. So clang D can find it, presumably because it's relative to the path. Oh, it's not. What am I trying to say? Does the Docker image not see the shaders? I got no, it'd be in the make file, won't it? So when I build, I'm mapping the current working directory, so that should... No, that should see it. I feel like we're just guessing at every single combination now, but I'm pretty sure when we build, we map in the current working directory, right? So that, and I run that from here, so that should have access to the assets. So I'm reasonably convinced that's fine. I just feel like we're just sort of somewhat guessing at. It's just, it strikes me as interesting that Clang D sees it and then GCC doesn't. No, it's definitely not like it. Let's just do a clean build. Ooh. Oh, I already make config, haven't I? It was a little bit annoying. Like, we could just load it from a file. But it would be really nice for shipping this if I didn't have to faff around with that. Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't like that. No include path in, but this is interesting. No include path in which to search for. It doesn't suggest it can't find it. It's saying it's got no include path to search for. I've got my embed dir back here, right? GCC embed dir. What's the syntax that? Has anyone got the GCC docs for this? I cannot believe how complex this is. See, now it says file not found, right? Which is interesting. And then it says, so it's, what? Why don't we just do it relative to where we are? I'm a little bit confused. All these errors have suddenly come from somewhere that weren't there before. That's not at all terrifying. What version of GCC am I on? What a great question. It should be building. I'm pretty sure it builds its own GCC. Whatever GCC version is, so 15.2. I'm pretty close to giving up on this, which is a real shame. I just think it's too new. There's just not enough information about it. GCC hash embed with CMake. Surely someone's. I have to quote. Oh no, otherwise ain't no one gonna know. I really just don't think there's enough information on it. Like, come on. Does someone show me? Sorry, I found a CMake issue. Argument dash, but it would be helpful to target embed directories. 11 months ago. It's very straightforward. Have they done this? Is this a thing? $10 months ago, they were talking about adding this as a native thing to CMake, but all that would do is just generate this flag for you. Can I? So if I just run ls within the container, hate everything. Why does that not work? Why is that not running? So concerning, why is that not doing what I thought it does? Have I failed to? Oh, because I've not given it the image name. Oh, sorry. MGW64. Yeah, I know. I've just realised that. So it has got the assets. So I'm pretty sure it can see it. Ugh, fine. Assets. Starts, all right. Yeah, it can see it. Sorry, I was failing to docker for a second there. I don't really tend to. Hang on. Accept, confirm. Copy the link. Hang on, someone sent me a link. Description. So this is for Clang, right? And Basil, but well, I mean, if it's in the build directory, then it'd just be up and like that. Yeah, okay, fine. I think I might have to call this quits because we're just not getting anywhere now. I'll just have to load it the old-fashioned way. It's just a little bit annoying. Should it be? I mean, we've tried them all. I've tried them all. I might have a play around with this off stream because I feel like it's close to working. But I do wonder if, yeah, maybe there's some project source that if that gets expanded to a full path, it'll be within the Docker container though, so it should be fine. No, assets shouldn't be in the graphics directory. But then this, why would I want that? Because this is all running under Linux, right? Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, interesting. So it could be like that. Oh, okay. I don't see it. I now have whatever this misery is that what is going on? Why is so it could just be relative to the file. What an absolute nightmare that is. It's fine. I do have it is relative to the current file. What a pain. You're saying remove this. Yeah, I'm inclined to believe you. And we can basically undo all the changes we made here. Apart from making that 26. This is terrifying. What have I changed? I did add a Matrix 3 class, but I'm pretty sure I tested it all. I suspect this is something I've broken off stream. No, what I think has happened is I think I introduced a new header file. I introduced Matrix 3, right, which was a header-only file. I must have made some change which didn't cause the tests to recompile, because this is all in the tests. So what's the... We can just Matrix 3 tests. So this is 72. Why is that now an ambiguous overload? I suspect... Ugh, what pain in the ass. Oh, that's... I'm missing a... I'm just missing a constructor. Where's that gone? I'm pretty sure I added that. How strange. Okay, fine. Maths, matrix 3, and const expr matrix 4 const matrix 3 m, and then I want to use see, I just want to forward this on to the other constructor, which then does m0 m1 m2 m 4 m5 m6 7 m8. Is that right? No, that's the wrong way around, isn't it? Sorry. So oh, I'm missing it from here. Oh no, I've got it here. What? Okay, fine. Let me just try and understand what the actual error is then. I was getting ahead of myself. I thought I knew what I was doing. In function virtual void matrix reconstruct from matrix test. But oh, it's fine. That's the test code. Matrix 372 error. Call of overload matrix for brace is ambiguous. Why is that now an ambiguity? Oh, is this? Oh my goodness. Is there a change in the rules somewhere? What? I'm so confused. What's going on? Oh no, I've got circuit dependency. Sorry, remove that. C++ 26. Is there a rule change in 26 that I'm not familiar of that's caused this to break? What? Well, no, I don't want to remove the test. That sounds like the worst possible solution. What is the possible ambiguity then between? Wow, this has been a real adventure this evening. How fascinating. What has changed? There are 9 candidates. There are 6 candidates. Have they added? Can you now construct a span from an initializer list? No, that'd be weird because who would own it? Oh, fudger. Oh. So the issue is that I've given it an initializer. So let's get the test up. Let's look through this because it's interesting. Here I construct a 4 from a matrix 4 from an initializer list. Okay. And before, what I was basically doing was I was allowing an implicit. Well, these are both. I was allowing an implicit conversion from the initializer list to the array. And then I could also take a span of elements. But what they've done now is they basically added in 26 the ability to construct a span also from an initialized list. So because C++ is allowed to do one conversion of your argument types in an implicit cast, it now can't pick between these two because they're both viable. What I could do, I think, is... IL, and then I think I could then do matrix for the span of float IL, the move IL. That might work because I don't. Oh, if I provide. If I provide an explicit initializer for the initializer. So if I provide an explicit constructor for the initializer list, then there's no ambiguity because that will always be a better match than a implicit cast. What the fuck do I know? Is it the same issue with matrix 3? No, that don't take no spam. Oh, what a pain. Now I've got a... I've just pushed the problem further down because now I can construct a matrix 4 from an initializer list. It doesn't know whether it should match the array or the matrix 4. Ah, what an absolute nightmare. Absolutely hate everything. That is absolutely gross because the answer now is to... Hang on, what we need to do is probably add these overloads for okay, what C++ would you like me to explain? I feel like I've explained a lot of C++, but I'm happy to try and explain some more. I've already got that, haven't I? I needed the span. Oh. I want the initialized list, that's what I want. Okay, let me go through it again, because I might be able to get a short out of this. I mean, because it's good for people to know. Okay. Nailed it. Okay. I just wanted to see if this still runs with the embed. Oh, it does. Right, okay, fine. C++ misery time. C++ misery time. Okay. The issue we had here is that I'm just trying to do it all in one thing. I was constructing a matrix 4 with curly braces here. The language says that curly braces can be used to construct an object, as in these outer ones here instead of the round parens, but by default they will deduce to what's called an initializer list, which is it's kind of an object for initializing containers with an array of values, basically. So this is how you can create a vector and stuff it with initial values. Use the initializer list. It says create the vector and these are the initial values. So I don't have in my matrix 4 class a constructor that takes an initializer list. Okay, well I do now, but I didn't. So C++, it might not seem like it, but C++ is on your side, and it does really want your code to compile. So it is allowed within the language to do one implicit cast of any arguments you give to a function to an argument that function does accept or is in the overload set. Remember, a constructor is just a function, right? So what it's done is it was going through. It's like, you've given this matrix 4 an initialized list, but I don't know how to construct it from an initialized list. But I do know how to construct it from an array, and I know how to construct an array from an initializer list. So it would implicitly convert that to the array and call this. All fine and dandy. What we did was we updated the compiler version to C++ 26. In C++ 26, right, they've added a new overload for span to allow you to create that from an initializer list. So then the issue then is that, well, the compiler is allowed to do one implicit cast, right? But now is an ambiguity because it could do that implicit cast to an array, or it could do that implicit cast to a span, but those are both equally viable options, right? So it now has no way of deciding which one to pick, and in such a case, when there's an ambiguity, it's a compiler error. So by upgrading our compiler version, we introduced an ambiguity because the latest version had more stuff in the library. So what I did is basically said, right, well, I will explicitly tell you how to construct from an initializer list, and this is considered a better match. There's no ambiguity here because a function overload which takes the argument exactly is always a better match and preferred to one that you have to arrive to via an implicit cast. Does that make sense? How much grey hair did I gain just because of those issues? I mean, I've got no hair left anyway, so like it's negligible. Yes, exactly, yeah. I will be cutting that up into a short, so you'll be seeing that in a few weeks. Exactly, yeah. And then the whole thing, I just kicked the can down the road because I just basically then had the initializer list for matrix for matrix 3, right? Which said, oh, I can create it from an array, or I can create it from a. Where's my matrix 4 gone? Or I can create from matrix 4, and now matrix 4 takes an initializer list. It's a viable candidate for that one implicit cast. So then it didn't know, and also because I had this before I had the span when I just had the array. So then it's like, I don't know, should I convert it to an array or should I convert it to a matrix 4? So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. That was programming languages are tools, right? You should always use the right tool for the right job, and this is my mantra. I do quite like C++, and I would say I'm an advocate for using it when it is the right tool. This is not a great exemplar. This is not going to win over the hearts and minds of people to use C++. But it's all still statically typed, right? But those type conversions are just enshrined in the language. I have no idea why they allowed that. It does have its uses, right? So, for instance, let's look at vector 4, right? No, let's not. Let's look at vector 3. Note I have these constructors here, right? I have one that takes nothing, one that takes a single float, and one that takes 3 floats, okay? The implementation is irrelevant, but the interface for my vector 3 allows me to construct it from nothing, from 1 float, or from 3 floats. Now, what I also want, right, is operator overloading, okay? I want to be able to add 2 vectors together. But what I really want to be able to do is also add scalar values. So I want to be able to do like vec plus 1.0, okay? And then this would add 1 to each component of the vector. Okay, do I have tests for this? I don't. That's sad. Anyway, so what I could then do is I could have another function like this. Like that. Put S, right? And that does whatever it does, okay? Which then would allow me to do this. But now, all right, what was if I wanted to do this, okay? Well, then I'd have to have this, okay? So now I've got 3 to achieve the semantics that I want within the language and through the operator overloading. I now have to have 3 functions which do effectively the same thing. But I get this for free. This just works in my code because if I pass in a float here or here, C++ is allowed to do 1 implicit cast, and it'll be like, from a single float, I know how to construct a vector, so it'll implicitly create the vector and then call this. So, do you mean it does have its uses? Like, it does simplify my code greatly. I can add any scalar value to my vector on either side of the operator, and it just works. Another great short indeed. Yeah, you can also use float plus float because those are it'll just follow the arithmetic precedence rules, which means it will do the first float plus the vec, and then the result of that will get evaluated as a sub-expression, and then the float will get added to the end. So it just changes them. It'll effectively silently insert the brackets for you. I mean, it's not wrong, right? It's a core part. It's a core part of the language, and it allows you to express things. I think it allows you to give you really expressive code and to create much better semantics. The same as inheritance, right? They're all just tools. You don't have to use them, and they don't solve every single problem. But I would never consider them like inherently wrong. I think some of the way people use operator overloading is wrong. For instance, where's my favorite heinous example of this? Std file system operator /, which allows you to concatenate paths with the division operator because it looks like the file separator in Linux. Like, I don't think that I think that is unnecessary. No, there are weird operators you can overload. Oh, I got my whole rant now. So these are all the operators you can overload, right? You can, the pointer to member, like that is a very weird one to overload. You can overload the comma operator, right? You should not, but you can overload the comma rate. So you could basically, I could have it so that when I do vec1, vec2, vec3, it calls a function instead of on each of these pairwise members, pairwise variables. Okay. Any other ones you shouldn't do? Address of operator. I overload the address of operator, right? I overload the address of operator. You do here? Yeah. For my auto release wrapper, because this then allows me to take the address of this object, but it's silently passed through to the thing that I'm wrapping, which is kind of useful. Again, that's a bit of a grey area where you want to do that. I find it very useful. I guess the equivalent in smart pointer land is the std in pointer or std in out pointer. Yeah, so C++23 you can have multi-indexed square bracket operators. So yeah, I think people did horrible stuff with that before. The other weird one is the pointer operator, which I don't know if it's specified exactly in here. It's the only one which has weird compiler magic behind it. Has it got it in here? Here you go. The overload of operator arrow must either return a raw pointer or return an object for which operator is in turn overloaded. So it will basically keep drilling down until it finds a pointer. So you can basically chain return objects with the arrow operator overloaded, and it will just drill down until it finds a pointer. It's the only one with like some special extra reasoning behind it. So it's something to be aware of. Spaceship operator should be. Yeah, there you go. Well, I think for most of the time you just want just equals default. Anyway, that was a fun little detour. What were we doing before this side quest? Oh, embed. So does this mean now I can... MA. Yes, assets shade simple dot frag D8. See if that still blends. Oof, oof. How have I introduced... Oh, hang on. I've just seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it. Don't worry, guys. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've got... I'm there. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. What? Unexpected end. No, embed is in 26. It's slightly different, I think, to the C1. Okay, fine. So embed includes the... How do I... Why does it work for vert but not for frag, though? Hang on, right, okay, so... It shouldn't need to be null terminated because... because when you pass it to shader, that takes it as a string view, which internally I then specify the length. So that, and it should be able to, it'll convert this to a string view because this will be compile time known length. I can't remove this because, oh, actually, can I? Oh, I can now. Good spot. Exactly, and I made sure to not use any OpenGL functions that expected it to be null terminated. Render 35. Thanks, Sand. We'll be finishing up shortly. I want to get this done and commit it up and then never have to worry about it again. No, it's fine. We think we nearly got there. What I'm probably going to do is have a shaders.h file, which just brings all these in, and then when we add a new thing, we can just add it to there, and that'll make them available. So basically a header file with all the string data in. I think that might be better, and it's fine. Like, it's a pretty heavy header. It'll be a pretty heavy header file, but we're only pretty much only including it in a couple of places. We could possibly shift it off to a CPU file if we needed to. Twok, I'm glad you learned something. Why is this? Why am I being stupid? Which has definitely been the motto of today's stream. Because it's like line 0 syntax error, unexpected end, expecting bang bang at token EOF. I've definitely saved it. A new line at the top. See if that kicks it up a notch. But why does it work for the? Why does it work for the vertex shader? God, I hate everything. it's got bytes. Unless it really is something to do with the... Does it just need like a new line at the end? So I can have reproducible builds, a reproducible build system, right? Because I've also got GitHub Actions set up, so I need some way of having reproducible builds. Right, this is making me grumpy now. Yeah, I think we're going to have to. Can you just stick a string view into std format? Yeah, of course you can. It's stupid. Sorry, it's been a long day. What is this when it's at home? Why does it have sample vertex shader at the end? It doesn't. That's cool. What is... Well, it can't... All my logs start with this. It could be getting the wrong size and reading... Why would... It's this here, which is not a string. But like... You think it should be something like this? There is a string view there as well. Is it that? It's got to be. That's the only other string around, right? It's definitely... Why is that? There's something weird going on here. Oh, actually, what are the lengths? That's an interesting point. So it said that the length of this was 2860. Asset shaders. The length is wrong. Why is the length... The length of this, right, is 2841. But this thinks the length is 2860. What's the... Oh man, we've... And this one's 2449. 2449. What? What's the suffix 0 do? That feels like a thing that I want. Does that null terminate it? But I shouldn't. Yes, I get why. Because it doesn't have a null byte at the end, this string is going to be placed, I guess, it's going to be allocated next to this, and it's going to roll over to the end. So I do need to null terminate these. Yeah, okay, fine. I get it now. Wow, that was a fun jaunt. Got to put that 0 on a new line. Don't be put it on the same line. Compiler say no to that. Outrageous. Jesus Christ. Right, okay, fine, we're here. What an adventure today has been. I kind of feel okay about it. He says in a not convincing at all voice. Yeah, you definitely get the dark band around that. That's pretty cool. Again, not a great introduction to the language, but that is quite a bleeding edge feature. So, and also I was being stupid. AC become a member. Thank you very much. Okay, fine. Let's do this. Let's go upgrade to 0.26. Hoist shaders into files. I think we can call that there. That's quite a lot of we've done today. Stream 11. What are we going to do next stream then? What are we going to do on Sunday? Because I think we need to finish off the we need to finish off the binary textures. It's still not technically done. Stream 12? Me neither. If I'm being honest, me neither. No, I've not said it yet, Harand. Okay, let's do next video, next stream. Sorry, we will finish off the binary textures to make it a big global array. We'll wire that in. We'll refactor a bunch of stuff. Basically tidy up what we've got. I'm not going to merge this yet because I still feel this is part of the basic lighting, is to have all the binary textures all kind of merged in. You can change the colors of it. It's RGB. Then I think we're just gonna. I don't know how much time I want to spend making the debug UI better, because I would like to have like a handle that we can click on to move the light around. I would like the ability to add multiple objects and have different materials. I think I might do that first because I want to basically have as much in place as possible, so that when we do the deferred renderer, we can kind of tell that it works. So we know we're rendering with different materials. So I think we'll do that quick, and then I think we'll just grind out the deferred renderer, which I don't think will be too complex. I'm not going to do light volumes straight away. I'm going to save that for a bit later. But yeah, I think that's all I've got to say. Right, free gifts. We'll get there. It'll be fine. congratulations, blah, 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 1 month free. So why I wanted to do that first is because there is a new video coming out imminently. It's probably the most complex video I've ever worked on. I've been working on it for the last 3 months. I am probably going to release it for members either today or tomorrow. And then for sort of the wider populace by the end of the week. The only reason it's going to take slightly longer for a public release is because I really don't know what thumbnail I want yet. And unfortunately, the way YouTube works is videos live and die by their title and thumbnail, and I don't want my most complex video yet to kind of fail to hit the mark because I didn't spend the extra day or two on thumbnails. So unfortunately, I would be grinding out thumbnails over the next few days. But for members and maybe to get a bit of feedback, because there's a few things I might tweak around the video anyway and just re-upload it. I will probably release it maybe now or tomorrow, sort of soon-ish. Yeah, well, this is it. People who are into it will watch it, but like it's got a chance to reach a bigger audience, but it has to have the right thumbnail, basically. So now is a great time to be a member because you'll be able to watch that early. So I'm hoping by the weekend I will have it out because I'm got other stuff on this week as well. So how much time I'm gonna get to like bash out thumbnails? I've got a couple that I like, but I'm not sure if I have like the thumbnail yet. No, the suffix comma bullshit is, well, it's new. It's even C+26, so that's probably why you've not seen it before. Right, that's all I've got. I'm exhausted. What a great stream. Enjoyed this. Thank you very much, guys, for coming along and hanging out with me and making me, because this is, if I was doing this by myself, I would have to bash through all those issues in solitary confinement. So it's kind of nice to share the misery with everyone. And I got a couple of good shorts out of it as well, which is obviously the most important thing because everything I do is in service to the shorts machine. Dry January, so no beer for me. I guess I gotta have some water and be miserable about it. But yeah, I'll hang out on Discord for a bit. I'm gonna edit some shorts. I'll try and do some thumbnails, I guess. And I know, oof, indeed. And I'll see you all anon.